Karens freak out over Police Lives Matters sticker. This is a video that is making the rounds at the moment of these two university going girls confronting some two white guys who are in what looks like some sort of study space. They start antagonizing them, telling them to leave, that the sticker is racist, that they're making it uncomfortable for other people to be there, and they kind of seem to have some support of other people in the space, but then it also seems like there's some other people who disagree, that it's just a sticker, that the space is for everybody, and that's kind of what the two guys are saying themselves, because they are there, they're just on their laptops, looks like they're studying. The guy who has the sticker even says that he said, I think 60 hours a week to pay for college or university. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. He might be counting in like the time that he's been studying and that sort of thing. But what people are upset about with this video, which is from the point of view of the two girls that confronted these two guys, is that they are making huge assumptions about the two guys there, that they are racist, that they don't care about black people, because obviously there's been a lot of violence from police in America towards African American people, and obviously there are protests, and then sort of like this counter protest is people saying police lives matter. So it is kind of documented that Police Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter is like a counter argument to Black Lives Matter, which you could definitely see as racist. And I think that if I saw that sticker, I would probably assume that they don't really care about or have a good consideration for what's happening to African American people. However, these two guys are in the space that they have a right to be in, and they aren't going in and harassing people. The two girls are. They're going up to these guys and basically telling them that they can't have any symbols or imagery that could be interpreted a certain way, right? And, maybe it is tasteless to have a Police Lives Matter sticker on your laptop, but that doesn't leave you open to being confronted by other people, right? Like, if I have a symbol of, let's say I had a peace symbol, which is known as being counter to military action, that wouldn't leave me open to people, calling me whatever and saying that I don't respect military people or whatever. It's a symbol. It's not an invitation to be engaged in arguments about politics or whatever. So these girls, I think, are definitely out of line. And on top of that, they seem to be really putting down these guys, like really insulting them. They say that white people don't have culture, which when I think about where I come from and things like that, I kind of feel like, that I don't have a strong culture, but that doesn't mean that every white person feels that way. If you grow up in Germany or Sweden, there are specific things that you do, traditions, and there's a lot of history that white people have in different places. So you can't just say that somebody who's white doesn't have a culture. That's just unfair. And I think it's actually quite a big put down to say that. It's just disregarding them as people and people with history and all that sort of thing. On top of that, when the guys who obviously they have to make a comeback, right? Because these girls are confronting them. I think it would be quite a shock for them, actually. They're just sitting there studying. So they say that they'll go and talk to the dean, you know, because obviously this is quite a questionable situation. Like, can these girls just kick them out because of a sticker they have? Is that in the rules? So they say that, which I think is a good thing to do, for them to do, to like clear up the situation and get people in charge to make some clarifications, like, is the sticker allowed or isn't it? Like, I think it's good that they would do that. But the girls start saying that they're being threatened, that these guys are going to go to the dean, that that's a threat. But it's not a threat. It's them saying what they're going to do, you know, because these girls, they're just coming at them, and the guys have to, or maybe they don't, but they're explaining what they're going to go and do to sort this situation out. Like, and that's not a threat, that's just what they're going to do. Like, they're not saying, oh, I'm going to get you kicked out of the university, I'm going to ruin your life, I'm going to make you look like a fool or anything. They're literally just saying that they're going to talk to someone with authority to get this situation cleared up, which is a reasonable thing to do, especially in a situation where you're in a public space that you're allowed to be in, right? That's the smart thing to do. I mean, they keep on going on, and then they say you have to leave, like you're making people uncomfortable. And then when the guys are like, I can't believe you're kicking us out, and, you know, just showing shock that they're being kicked out, there's like one girl who's like, we're not kicking you out, we're asking you to leave. Which, like, that's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, they're telling them that they have to leave and that this space isn't for people like them. That's kicking them out. I think that these girls are being kind of racist, like, first of all, because they're saying that these guys don't have culture. But on top of that, they keep on saying that the space is a multicultural space where people can come together and discuss ideas and things like that. But they make it very clear that they don't include white people in that. So they're kind of wanting to do this sort of like segregation type of thing, which is really, I think, counterintuitive, because if you have people who really don't understand the Black Lives Movement and things like that, you want them to be involved with other people of different cultures and different thoughts and things like that, because that could help educate them and see a different side to things. Whether or not that works or not is another thing, but you're definitely not going to change the minds and hearts of people by kicking them out and not allowing them to be involved in whatever spaces there are for people to meet up and discuss and all that sort of thing. So the last thing I wanted to mention is, I think it's so stupid that these girls confronted these guys for their own safety. Like, these guys could have been felt really trapped, or, I mean, they could be like violent people. So I really don't understand how people can come up to strangers that they don't know and be really like verbally aggressive and feel confident that they're not going to be put in harm's way. Like, I'm not saying that those two guys are violent, awful people, but I am saying that you don't know, like, what these other strangers are capable of. So I really think it's crazy that we keep on seeing these videos of people confronting total strangers and expecting it to just turn out fine. Like, these guys could have just gone crazy, you know? So I really recommend that people stop confronting other people for videos or views or whatever. Like, that's really dangerous. It just takes like one confrontation with the wrong person to ruin your life, you know? So don't be like those girls. Don't be a racist, fighting racist with racism. Don't be like that.